Hello, my name is Alex. Welcome to my video about time stretching breakbeats in Ableton Live. Now, I decided to record this as a result of a problem I had when I was trying to get that kind of authentic time stretched break sound. What I was doing was stretching it out, or stretching a break out using the texture mode in the warp section, Ableton's warp function, and I wasn't, and then I was chopping it up on the timeline, or I was chopping it up to a drum rack, and I wasn't happy with the results I was hearing. I was kind of after that authentic jungle time stretch sound that you can hear on, I think it's a Slipmat tune, I can't remember the name of one, but it's a good example, and Pete Cannon talks about it a lot and uses that sound in his music. So I was after getting something that was a bit more like this. So that kind of thing, and that sounds a bit more authentic to me. That sounds a bit more like the original effect on the Akai sampler, I think it was. Don't test me on the knowledge of all that stuff. I just go with Ableton and what I know from what I hear and what I've learnt with practice. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a break. I'm going to use an amen for the demonstration purposes of this video, but you can use any break, and maybe that's something I'll experiment with in the future. I've tried it with different breaks and it kind of works the same. I've tried it with the Think break, and yeah, experiment, have fun with it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a break, and I've already brought one in here. So it's not the last bar, it's the last two bars of the amen break. And what we're going to do is we're going to mess around with the warping mode on here. So let's duplicate this. I'm going to do it again here. I'm going to get rid of this, and we're going to start with this stuff. Let's make this a different colour so it's easy to follow. Alright, so we've got the last two bars here, and let's have fun with some time stretching. I should explain that involves using the texture warp mode in Ableton. Now, I don't think this is included with the intro versions, but it's definitely worth considering getting the full version of Ableton Live if you want to make jungle or drum and bass or any electronic music. So let's go to texture. Now, the key is to bring down the flux, I've found, and that gets us closer to that kind of in that Akai ballpark. And then we're just going to double the length times 2. So we've got that nice time stretch sound there. And okay, I'll just do that one for now. We'll just call this time stretch 1. Let's duplicate that, and let's do this one. I'm going to pull the grain size down now. Okay, that sounds pretty cool. Time stretch 2, duplicate, I'm going to do it with 1. I'm going to double the length this time. Love that sound. Introduces some harmonics and artifacts, I think, kind of makes it sound really otherworldly. Futuristic. Okay, and now if I then pulled this into a drum rack and started messing around with it there, then it would retain that warp mode, but effectively what we want to do is bounce it down, record this, resample it, then chop it and speed it up or pitch it up so it gets back to the original tempo, and we'll get this get that sound, that kind of, and when you use breaks to which you've applied different warping modes in the same thing, you'll kind of get some different pitches, and you'll get some effects more like this. Sounds pretty cool. Okay. So I've already done that here. Yeah, I've got that set for resampling. So let's pull these up there. And let's put you down. I'm just going to record these here. Make sure everything else is stopped so it doesn't feed into it. Very good. Okay, so we've got these resample breaks here now, and if I set the warp mode in these to repitch and increase its speed or halve its speed, essentially pitch it up by an octave, there we go, we've got that sound, that kind of time stretched, pitched up back to original tempo. Cool. See how this one sounds. And I might just leave it like that. Nice bit of contrast. I think I've done it with these later ones. Stop. Nobody track. I'm going to pull in a drum rack. And I am going to pull my break in there. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to do the same. Put in this. Let's do some preparation first, essentially. And let's pull you up here, leaving space so I can do some manipulation. Okay. That's cool. I'd set up some drop presets in the drum rack, and that is how you recall them. I've just remembered. Oh, it's got it there anyway. Okay, so for these, let's go with the first one. I am going to set warp and repitch. I think it was 1, was it? We'll have a listen. And let's make some patterns. No, not that much. Now with the warping that we've done here, it can really make the timing go off sometimes. So just experiment, use your ears, maybe have the metronome running to help tweak the timing and tweak the start points. I think it's because it essentially pulls out the transient of the sound, so it like smears it across time and it's harder to keep in tempo. Two. Pretty cool already, isn't it? I've got here, I'm going to pull that, make the snare, and you can rename the pads if you want. And if I was saving this, I might do that, saving it as a preset. And so we must remember to set our choke groups to the same one, so that when another sample plays, it stops the one that's already playing. kind of hear how that last drum hit, the last kick, is maybe a bit off time. Sometimes if you program in some little bits before it can kind of fool the ear into thinking it is. Just leave it as it is for now. Okay, and why not do something with the cymbal on this first one? Or let's have a listen. Let's duplicate this, work with this pattern again. Let's work with this next one now. Set warp, repitch, and we'll give a listen to what that sounds like. Let's copy this, work with this again. Do the same thing here. Maybe work. It's great when it starts coming together. So let's go with a cymbal here, shall we, for this one? Okay, let's do the same with this last little one then. Warp, and let's start a new pattern. Yeah. Do the same thing again, copy that, make the snare. Maybe we'll start this one on this, the heavy hitting kick. Is it, where's it going to be? Is it this one? Make this a snare. Lovely. And sometimes when you start having patterns like that with other patterns we've already made, it can sound really cool. Okay, anyway, let's have another listen to that one. And maybe do something with the cymbal. Make the cymbal really, really long. Yeah, and there we go. We've got some really interesting time stretched patterns already, and I think it's just sounds better than pulling the break in and just applying texture mode and working with it like that, because it goes through the kind of repitching process or pitching up. You could probably do the same thing with the pitch, with transposing it, but this is the way I've worked here. This is the way I've solved the problem that I was faced with. And yeah, it sounds really good when you start bringing in the contrast of a break that hasn't been time stretched. So you've got to be careful again just to add one of those stop buttons, because then again it's only the last two bars, so it shouldn't be too noticeable. So I've included a little kind of bonus feature here which I'll include in the download, and everything in this should be with Ableton 11 Suite stock plugins, including the LFO. But this is just kind of a patch I've whipped up with an Amen I've already chopped, just using the same principle, and I've done some EQ and compression and whatnot. But I've also got a Spectral Resonator on here. What's this effect rack I've created? And this is kind of a good way to cheat or manipulate, mess around with the same effect or the same sound, same timbre. So I'll just play it without it. Got some reverb on there. Valhalla. Quite crunchy, eh? So anyway, let's switch the Spectral Resonator on. You can kind of get a similar effect with a bit of tweaking. Now I've got some LFOs on here, and I'll just give you a quick demo of what this sounds like. I find you can actually get some similar results. Now I've got the LFOs manipulating the stretch and the shift here, and I've kind of just set everything else by ear. Have a listen. I think this can make a really good light effect, especially for some more modern sounding tracks. I've mapped an LFO to the dry wet as well. yeah, so there we go. Have fun. I'll save this all up now into a live pack, put it in the description. Mess around, use your ears, solve those problems, stick at it. You will make progress, and I'll see you around. Thanks for watching.